What's going on YouTube? It's Mr. Ferguson here once again. Thank you guys for coming back for another video here in Central North Carolina. We've got an update this Friday. Sorry about all the AC units on full blast. We're having church this evening when I'm filming this, but we've got some progress on the project lawn. So this Friday, just wanted to give you an update on that. We've got the live stream tonight. You should be seeing that tonight. So this video will come out as a kind of a bonus, but tonight, 7 o'clock, tune in, ask your questions. Blake and Mr. Kevin will be there and we'll try to answer your questions. So let me show you what just took place today on the project lawn here and show you where we're at. So a huge big shout out to Mr. Blake's cousin. I don't even know the guy's name. I didn't communicate with him directly, but Mr. Blake said my cousin can come out and help us out to tear up this ground, because you guys saw it before. Those that have been paying attention and watching, you saw it was rocky. We killed it all off. We sprayed Kills-All. We sprayed glyphosate everywhere. It's already started to grow back in. And Mr. Blake's cousin, he had equipment breakdown. He had other things to do, but he just got out here today. I'm filming this on a Wednesday. And as you can see, he tore up the best he could. He said this is some of the softest ground he's seen here lately. And he just basically took the teeth. And now it's on us, me, Mr. Kevin, Mr. Blake. We're going to try to get out here sometime early next week and begin raking this up. And he was scared, obviously, to get over here by these cinder block areas where I guess, I'm not even sure what this is, the septic tank area, I guess is what we would call that. But he was scared to get here. So this area we'll have to pay attention to and do our best maybe to do by hand. I don't know what we're going to do here. But he said it was very, very soft. Not as much rock as I kind of walk over here. This is the first time I've seen it actually. But there is rock, but it's not as much rock as I thought. And he said, man, to be honest with you guys, I don't think I would bring in any topsoil because it was so easy to churn it up and turn it up. The big thing is for me is getting the rock out, right? So we've got progress. So just want to show you we are moving along, and this is a huge step. Something that I don't have access, like Pete, I don't have access to the equipment. Mr. Blake don't either. Mr. Kevin don't. So big shout out to Mr. Blake's cousin and his family for doing that. They did it free for the church. So big shout out and thank you to him. I want to get rakes out here. I think what I'm going to do, the very next thing I'm going to do is early next week when I have the time to get back out here, is to go ahead, as you guys saw and suggested, look at this big boulder right here, is to spray it with glyphosate. Look at that guy. See, I thought more of this may be out here, but we're just going to go ahead and roll him downhill a little bit. But I was looking for more of that over here. But spray it again with glyphosate. But we're also going to do probably tenacity at time of seeding to keep down any. Remember, we turned all this ground up. Who knows what type of weed seeds will come out of this? The Bermuda's already trying to come back, so we're going to reestablish our line here, and we may even inch it forward some to where he's torn up and have a little less square footage, which would be just fine. But you could see some of the rocks and stuff, and the areas that I missed, that I showed you guys earlier, that I missed with the glyphosate spray. Look at those big rocks, big old boulders, I told you. So it looks like we got enough to be able to plant with. It's not going to be too much of a hindrance. It looks like mainly just tore up ground, not a lot. But over here, man, look at this. So it looks like he did find the rock section, and this, you see the different color of the grass as well. It gets light, or the ground, it gets lighter over here. Big boulders, so lots of rocks over here. So this may be, look at that big bad boy. That thing is big as my foot. Look at that thing, is huge. Massive rocks. That's not surprising. So he scratched all this up. Looks like this was a little harder and drier. We've not had any rain. He said he was amazed, thank you Jesus, that he was able to do this much, because I wanted to water it before he was able to come. But he did the best he can, free of charge. So I am excited. We've got torn up ground now, so no need to aerate, which is awesome. We're just going to rake this. So don't think, is this how you're going to leave it, Mr. Ferguson? Nope. We're going to hand rake all this, just clean up some of the garbage, spray it again with glyphosate, maybe give that a week or so. We can still seed. That doesn't affect the soil. It doesn't, quote, stay in the soil, as my mind goes to sometimes. So we'll be fine. And we'll be ready to lay down seed, protein starter fert here soon. I've got some aerate. I've got some Humic 12 we're gonna be rolling here now. Now this was the biggest part. We also need to mention now, because GCI is changing their mixture of grass seed. It's the old Cool Blue blend. The new one will be Blue Tag certified. This is the old original GCI Cool Blue blend as this video ages. So very excited, very thankful. Thank you, Lord. We're making progress. This thing is, it's crazy when you have something in your head and all of a sudden you see it now coming to life. There ain't no going back now. We've went this far. We killed off the ground. We've got somebody to come in and actually tear the ground up. And now we're going to be raking it, taking out all the impurities of the rocks and the garbage that's down here that you see. So not necessarily the balls of dirt. That's fine. Just like when we aerate, we leave those on top of the surface, right? But again, letting the dirt breathe. We are churning up weed seeds though. So that's why the tenacity is going to go down on top of this. We don't know what's going to grow with this seed when we start watering and fertilizing. So anyway, there, Mr. Blake. So he's out here. His cousin was out here. So man, it looks awesome. So we're going to be able to come out here again later and show you guys the progress as we rake it up. Maybe we'll do like a time lapse or something for that. I think that would look pretty cool. But he's right. Blake told me, he said it wasn't as much rocks as he thought, and I don't think so either. So it looks really good. So we'll just have to figure out this section. We can probably just, I don't know, we can take a hard rake and do something there and tear that up by hand. Well guys, it's the next morning, and it's like the Lord just woke me up early. I'm not an early bird really, but it's like the Lord woke me up and said, get out there and get the raking. And my dad made a great point. You know, we scratched all that dirt up. It's loose right now. We got to rake it, and that's the main goal right now. But if we get any type of major thunderstorm, it can really wash all the dirt away, and we don't want that. We want to get it in place as soon as possible. So heading out early this morning to try to get over there to the church and do some raking and apply some glyphosate. That's the goal. So we'll see if we accomplish it. So we'll see you at the church where it's a little more daylight outside. We can actually maybe do some work today. So again, I apologize. We're right by the AC units over here, but here we go. Here early in the morning, we'll set up a little time lapse. It's just a matter of putting rake on ground. And yeah, there's equipment out there we could, you know, rent and do, but hey, I've already done a little bit right here, but we're just gonna try to filter out some of the junk and some of the rocks. That's the main goal. And if I just get this done this morning with the time I have, it'll be great. And we'll spray it all maybe with glyphosate and come back and finish raking. I wanna get the glyphosate down and do its thing and leave. So regardless if I get it all raked, I think I'm going to just go ahead. I don't know, I'll think about that as I rake, but here we go. Let's rake some, let's do a little time lapse, and we'll close out this video. Crazy when you do a time lapse because you guys just see, but when you're out here doing it and you're not sitting in the AC watching, it looks like, man, that's easy, that's cool, that's nice. But when you're out here, but I will say, when you're out here working by yourself, being able to pray, talk to the Lord, it's what I do. He was just a quick story. He was just reminding me when I was in the military, I failed a part of my I was a 25 Bravo or 72 Bravo, which is a computer networking class I was in Augusta, Georgia. I failed one of the sections, and so when you fail it, you've got to go back to a class that's behind you and retake that course, and that's what I had to do. Well, the next class wasn't coming for like 2 weeks. So number one, you're nervous because you didn't plan on, you know, it's a bunch of math that was involved, and I just didn't comprehend it. And so I had to redo it, passed it the second time. But in that 2 weeks, as I'm sitting here raking this ground and trying to prep it and just move dirt, the Lord was reminding me in those 2 weeks, and I was just nervous, scared, didn't know if they were going to send me home. They had said, Ferguson, if you don't pass this test, you're going to be infantry. You got to go all the way back to Fort Benning and do infantry school. And I was like, oh my gosh, what have I done? And they put me on area beautification, and I was raking leaves at some lake that the U.S. Army owned on post. And so me and a bunch of other guys on detail went and raked, and I felt like a state worker. I felt like a second class soldier. I felt like, well, what have I done? I messed up. And God reminded me of that as I was raking this, and I just started chuckling, because here I am at a church early in the morning on my own accord, an account, raking the church ground. And I'm like, Lord, you knew what you were doing. You knew what you was preparing me for. And it's just funny how only God and me knew that. My parents don't even know that. My wife don't know that type stuff. But it's like he brings that stuff back to my memory, that he knows what's best for us. So sorry, that's my devotion for everybody this Friday. But this is a multiple rake type job, if I didn't mention that. You see all of our dead Bermuda is piled up here. We still got crabgrass coming in. I'm not so concerned about the crabgrass. The crabgrass will go away on its own. So I'm going to spray this again with glyphosate, mainly because of the Bermuda. I don't really care about the crabgrass. Even when I did my own backyard, it had crabgrass present like this. Not a big deal. Crabgrass goes away. It comes back. We can put down tenacity and stuff to treat that, you know, summertime pre-emergence. We'll have a thick set of turf. It'll mainly crowd out the crabgrass in the future. But look at all the dead Bermuda you see I've piled up here. But this first rake took me about an hour just to do this section right here. Everything to the right of this gate. Now these are the areas, and I forgot my little garden weasel. I'm just going to try to garden weasel some of this. I forgot it, kicking myself about that. But a lot of balls of dirt, not a lot of rocks, but all this will get garden weaseled. But we're just mainly getting the top stuff, like this Bermuda right here I missed, and some of the big rocks, right? So some of this Bermudan stuff, before I leave today, we'll spray this section. So with the time that I've got, it looks like from the gate towards me, we're gonna do another rake on this with the fine tooth rake, and get some more of the junk out and impurities. And you can see all of it piled up over here. This is a rocky section right here, but you can see all the stuff that's been raked up and raked out. And so that's the main thing. Now, if I was to go and plant grass now, do I think it would grow? I do. We would be fine. But you know, the more we rake this, the more we get out the rocks that is kind of hiding underneath the surface, the better. When it gets really hot, our roots are going to be able to dive down deep, are going to be able to go dig deeper, and all that good stuff. So the more work you put in it, basically, since we don't have equipment, is going to be better off in the long run. So I don't think I'm going to get this section, but we're going to focus on this section for today. And that's what we're going to do going forward. So I'll just report back to you guys, hey, we've raked it. We've sprayed it with glyphosate. We'll let that set a week, and then we're going to be coming back, and we'll be ready to throw seed. We'll be ready to throw protein, starter fert that we got, the Cool Blue. We're going to lay down tenacity for sure, because again, we've churned up a bunch of weed seeds. I have no idea. This is virgin dirt. We have never planted anything up here. You see what's all out here. It's just crabgrass, weeds, God's natural coverings of the ground. We've never planted any type of grass. We have no idea. So we do want to spray the glyphosate to try to limit the Bermuda, kill the Bermuda. And it's going to be tough, because you see some of it's already come back. A lot of it died. Some of it's still hanging tough. So Bermuda is probably going to be something we deal with in this lawn. But again, it's a business. It's commercial. Well, it's not a business. It's the church. It's public property. It's not a lawn. So does it have to be absolutely perfect? It don't. Are we going to do our best? Absolutely. We want it to look nice for the kids, the preschool, and the church members. So that's what we're going to work on. So I just wanted to end it here. I could talk and talk about this, but look how beautiful that dirt, rich in color, for not being, you know, worked in anything like that. That dark looking dirt, and then it gets a little lighter and rockier over here, as you see, and then darker over here. So the color of it looks great. We are going to be applying humic here. We are going to be applying RGS, Humic 12. We're going to be trying to make this thing, treat it as our own, but get some of the rocks out. So that's the main thing I wanted to show you this Friday while I had a chance to add this in. Thank you for sticking to the end of the video. Remember the live stream tonight, September 8th, 7 o'clock. If I haven't moved it up a little bit, because it's getting dark sooner, so we may be limited in our time as we were last time. But tune in with your questions. If you got questions about this, I would love to be able to talk it out. Maybe something I'm not thinking about, something that you are. But it's looking really good, guys. It's looking really great. We're making progress. So God bless you. Thank you for tuning in today, and we'll see you on Monday, hopefully, with another lawn care video from Central North Carolina. God bless you.